Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome to day 10 of my Cricut Craft gift guide. We are really cruising through these gifts and this has been really fun to create, so I'm hoping you're having just as much fun watching as I am creating this guide for you. So in today's craft, we are going to be making a personalized little wine bag, and then we're also going to be doing a little wine glass. So both are really easy to create, and also if you saw my tutorial earlier in the gift guide on how to make personalized wine bottle labels, that would be a wonderful little bottle to put inside of this if you decided to make those. If not, I'll link that tutorial so you know how to personalize your own wine bottle labels as well, so that you know how to do that to place inside. So we have a little blank wine bag. You can buy these anywhere. I cannot remember where I purchased mine, or I would tell you, but it's been a while since I've had this and I can't remember exactly where I got it, but you should be able to find these anywhere. When in doubt, definitely go to Amazon. So I have that all set up. I also have a little wine glass, and I did get this at the Dollar Tree. I love their glassware. I think their glassware is actually pretty impressive. So whenever I am able to swing by there, which hasn't been in a very long time, I definitely grab a few of these because they are wonderful, cheap, they make great gifts, and they're always nice to have on spare for doing a craft. Other materials that I have: a weeding tool. I'm going to be using a really pretty glitter HTV for the bag, and then we're going to be using adhesive vinyl for the wine glass, and this is a very pretty shimmery little adhesive vinyl that's really nice. And I used this earlier in the gift guide as well when I made the mason jar cookie gifts, so I promised you that that was going to debut again, and here it is because it's my favorite. I've actually done another wine glass in this shimmer white vinyl, and it turns out so pretty that this is my go-to when I am doing wine glasses because it's just gorgeous. And then I have a little piece of transfer tape. So we're working with HTV, so heat transfer vinyl. We're also using with adhesive vinyl. So adhesive vinyl comes with the transfer tape, or is worked with transfer tape, and then the heat transfer vinyl is going to be applied with a EasyPress 2. So we're going to use the 9x9 EasyPress 2. We'll get that all preheated and ready to go in a little bit. And then I also have my EasyPress mat that we will use when it comes to pressing. So let's go ahead real quick and grab a measurement for our bag. And what I want to do is, my design for this bag is actually a wine bottle. It's a pre-made design in Design Space that they actually released with some of the infusible ink designs, I believe. So it's really cute, but I want to make sure that it's the right height because I don't want to cut it off too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a bottle of wine inside of the bag, and then I want to see how much space I have to work with once the wine bottle's inside. Okay, so now that I have the wine bottle inside, and we can see kind of how much it bunches up, because we lose about an inch down here when we get a wine bottle inside. So I just want to see how much space I have to work with, and I'm also hoping to put a ribbon right here. So I'm going to say maybe 8 inches is where I want to kind of keep that wine bottle. I think that will be just about right. 8 or 8.5 will be perfect. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hop into Design Space. We'll do our little question of the day real quick first. And our question today, if you're brand new and just visiting, we do a little question of the day. So go ahead and join in with us in the comment section. And today our question is, if you had $100 to spend in 5 minutes at the craft store, what aisle would you run to? I love this question. I've been waiting for this. This was one of my favorite questions to create because I really want to hear your answers. Okay, so we're working with Cricut images today, and I found all of them over here. If you go to the 4th button down on the left, it's called Images, and I just searched around and found these. So I can't decide whether I want to do the wine bottle or the Christmas tree because both of them are really cute. But this is definitely going on the wine glass. I think that is really sweet. So I think it'll look really fun, and I giggle every time I see this little saying because I think it's just so cute and something I would probably say. So this is called Fa La La Wine, in case you want to locate it in Cricut Design Space. And then the bottle is called Merry Christmas Bottle, and then We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So I think I'm going to actually go with the Christmas tree. I think it'll be really pretty in that green that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the wine bottle. And then I'm going to size this down to about 8.5 inches. I think that'll be just about right. Okay, and then I want to make sure I have enough let's see, that's about 3.5 inches. That's going to be about perfect. So that's going to be fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with my wine is I have about 2.5 inches in height to work with. So I'm going to size this down a little bit to about 2.5 inches. This looks great, and I am all set. It's really easy when you find pre-made designs because you literally just have to size them and get them ready, and they're all set. So I'm going to use my Explore Air 2 today, so I'm going to make sure that is selected. You can use any cutting machine for this project, and then I'm going to say Make It. So this is going to be on my adhesive vinyl, and then my second mat is going to be on iron-on. So for my iron-on, I need to mirror that mat. So I'm going to go ahead and click the mirror button on, and then I'm going to say Continue. So I'm going to browse all materials and browse all the way down to vinyl, and I am going to do premium vinyl shimmer for my adhesive vinyl. And when it's time to place the mat in for my glitter iron-on, I am going to come in and reselect my setting for glitter iron-on. Now, there is a dial on the Cricut Explorer 2, but I always just set mine to custom and I make all of my selections for materials within here. It's just easiest for me because I also work with the Joy and the Maker, and those also do selections inside Design Space, so that's how I just treat my Air as well. So I'm going to go ahead and then do glitter iron-on for my second material, and then I can load my mat and get cutting. Okay, so I have my little shimmer vinyl here, and when you are doing drinkware, you need very little material, so make sure you look through your scrap material because this is a wonderful way to use those smaller pieces that you have trimmed off, and you can make a gift for just about nothing when you use scrap materials. So I'm going to go ahead and place this in. This is foil from doing the new foil transfer kit, so don't get foil on your mat because it sticks. I'll place a tutorial on how to do the foil. It's really fun, and we have a lot more of foil coming up for the holidays. Okay, so I'm going to load my mat and get cutting. Okay, so that little piece is done. So now I'm going to place my glitter iron-on the mat. So with iron-on, you want to place the shiny side down. So there's an obvious, really shiny side and then more of a matte or dull side. So I'm just going to place this whole roll on my mat. I like to work that way because then I feel like I can trim my extra pieces off a little bit closer and therefore save more material, but that's just how I like to do it. So I'm just going to place my glitter iron-on right on the mat there and then load it. And also don't forget that I'm going to go in and change my cut setting to glitter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unload my little glitter. Okay, and then I am going to turn my mat over and just bend my mat away from my glitter. And then I'll show you why I like to load all of my material on the mat at once. So I like to do it this way because then I can really, really get my scissors close to where the design ends. And then I can save as much material as I can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start weeding my glitter. I already weeded my adhesive vinyl because they put the white shimmer on a white background, so there's really no point in me weeding it for you because you won't be able to see it anyway, but you'll be able to see it in just a moment. But I weeded that already, but you guys can really see the glitter. It is really, really cool. So I'm also going to pull up this design in Design Space. That way I can get an idea of what pieces need to be weeded out. It's really helpful, especially with glitter, because it's kind of hard to see. So it's just going to be helpful for me to reference inside Design Space what I need to be looking for, and then I can pull those pieces out. So we have a W in there and a little E. Okay, and then we have a lot of little dots that need to come out. So we'll just grab all of those individually. So this may be a little labor of love, but I think it's going to be really, really pretty, especially with this glitter. I think I got this glitter from Expressions Vinyl, and I will link it below. I believe the shimmer white adhesive vinyl is from there as well. I love their stuff so much. Okay, so the question was, if you had $100 and 5 minutes in a craft store, where would you run to? And honestly, I struggle with this question because I'm the type that has to walk through the entire craft store whether I need to or not. I think it's because the craft store is one of those outings that's just relaxing to me, so I like to make the most of my time there. So I definitely am one of those people that brings a cup of coffee and just takes my sweet time. So it would be hard for me to rush through a craft store, number one. But number two, I think I would have to run to the Cricut aisle for, iron-on and probably some vinyl. I'm not sure. Maybe even some tools. I always feel like I can really quickly spend some money in that section. Okay, so I'm finishing up my last little piece. And my biggest advice, if you want to use this file, it is very beautiful, but make sure you pull it up in Design Space so that you can get an idea of where all the little pieces are, because there are lots of little pieces. Look how pretty this is going to be. This is going to be so pretty. There are lots of little pieces, and it's so helpful when you can see it on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of where to look for it. And also the middles of the letters, it's intentional that those are not in there. So I don't want you to think that I accidentally weeded out the middles, but that's how the design was. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make sure I clean up my entire space so that all my scraps are thrown away. And then I am going to get my EasyPress out and ready to go. Okay, so my EasyPress is set to 320. I looked up my heat settings on expressionsvinyl.com so that I would know. So I'm just going to run it over my wine bag a little bit here just to make sure the wrinkles start to get all ironed out, and then also to make sure there's no moisture in the bag. So this is going to be for 320 for 10 to 15 seconds, and it will be a firm pressure and then a warm peel. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, I've had this little wine bag ready for the holidays in my craft space for months, so it was a little wrinkly. Okay, so I have it preheated. Now I'm just going to place my little tree on the bag there. I think that's cute, so cute. And remember, I lose about an inch of space at the bottom, but I also want to have some room for the ribbon, so I think that looks really, really nice, just like this. I might move it over just a little bit, just like that. Okay, so now that's all set. I'm going to take my press again and set it right. I'm going to go diagonal so I can get the whole thing just perfectly. And then I'm going to press, and then I'm going to just press really, really firmly, and 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bag, flip it over, and I'm just going to do the back as well. This isn't part of the directions on their website, but I kind of got used to doing this with some other things I do with Cricut materials, so I figure it can't hurt. So I'm just going to do about 15 seconds on the back, just like that, and then remove my press. And then this is going to be a warm peel, it says. So what I can do is I like to take my projects and just place them on a cooler surface to get them to cool quicker. And we'll just let that cool because we also have the little wine glass to do. So I am going to get my rubbing alcohol so we can clean it off. Okay, so I have a little bit of rubbing alcohol here, and I'm going to just put a little bit on a little cotton swab, and then I like to just make sure that the surface of the wine glass is all clean and free from dust and oil. It helps the vinyl stick much nicer. So I'll let that dry, and I just focus on the areas where the vinyl is going to be. And while that dries, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my little design onto the transfer tape. So I'll trim down my transfer tape, and I have reused this transfer tape, so it is ready to go. I love reusing materials. It helps keep costs down, and I'll place it right over my design. Now again, the manufacturer puts this white on white, so it's not my fault, so please don't get angry with me, but you'll see it in just a moment. But it makes it a little difficult to weed even in person, but it's so worth it. So then I'm going to go ahead and keep it upside down and peel that cutting carrier sheet away from the vinyl, and it leaves the vinyl right on our little transfer tape. So now I'm going to set this to the side a little bit, and then I am going to bring in a little rag here, or a little towel. And I just like to do this with my drinkware just to kind of give it some place to sit and get nuzzled in there so that I don't have to hold it and try to apply vinyl at the same time. So now with my vinyl, what I'm going to do, let me bring in my little heat press mat so you guys can really see that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and place little cuts near the edges, and being careful, of course, not to cut my vinyl, but this just helps to make sure I can get my transfer tape to be a little bit more flexible, because it's going to obviously be very straight, but it's going down onto a curved surface. So it will just help take the shape of the curved surface if it has some little marks in it that help it to just kind of curve around. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to center that where I'd like it. And you guys will see it really, really great in just one moment. And I like to leave enough room at the top to sip so that the person's lip is not touching the vinyl. And then I like to start in the middle with my finger and then just rub my way out to the sides. Okay, perfect. Just like this. Okay, then I'll take my scraper tool and really reinforce it with a little bit more pressure. Okay, so that is all scraped down. So now what I can do is I can get this all peeled off. So now, since I put some cut marks in my transfer tape, this transfer tape will probably be toast by the time I'm done, but it also may come off in little pieces, but that's just fine. So I'm going to peel this away, leaving the vinyl right on the glass. And then what I do is I let this sit for 2 to 3 days before I either gift it to somebody. Oops, I have little tiny dots in there that need to stay down. I leave it for 2 to 3 days and let it cure. And then when I give it to the person, I tell them to just hand wash it only. So that is just some ways that you can help preserve the look of the vinyl and make it last a little bit longer. But look how cute that looks. That looks so cute. And it's hard to see the shimmer, but in person it is so, so pretty. I love it. I love it. It really makes me laugh every time I read this. Okay, so we have that little wine glass, and then this is definitely ready to be peeled up. So I will peel this away, and it looks great. If you, for some reason, saw some areas lifting, then you would just place this back on to your iron-on and then repress for a little longer, but mine looks great. So look at the glitter. I love how that looks. So this will just have a little bottle of wine inside, and what I can do is I'll actually get this all tied up and I'll show you what it would look like in the end. Okay, so this is the final look with just a little bit of ribbon on the top. I think that looks really, really nice with a little bottle of wine in there. And then the little glass is really, really sweet as well. I think the glass is just adorable. I love it. So I think this was really, really easy. Also, remember on day 6, I believe, if you missed it, we did a video on how to make personalized wine bottle labels. So if you wanted to learn how to do that, be sure to pop back to day 6 in the gift guide to watch that. But that would be a way to give a little additional surprise inside when they open it up and see that the label is personalized as well. So very intentional gift, and honestly, everybody loves to receive a nice bottle of wine for Christmas because it's just lovely. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Be sure you are all ready to go because we have 5 more days of the gift guide. I have loved every second of this. I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well. And also be sure you share this video to inspire even more friends to come join us as we finish up this gift guide. Plus there's some really fun things coming for the holidays, and I can't wait to announce that soon. So be sure you're all subscribed and ready to go, and I'll see you in the next video.